changes so we can do things.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Welcome.
Happy Veterans Day.
Yes.
We're honored.
Yeah, big one today.
To be grateful, of course, for our service members.
Yes.
Past and present.
Awesome.
Thank you for all that you do.
Okay, so today we've got a good one, as always, though.
Always.
But I just love this topic because it debunks a lot of myths, also, but it also gives a lot of new insight. So thank you again for joining us. If you don't already, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. That way you can get all these wonderful trainings and watch recordings and share them and refer back to them. And then you never miss anything. And make sure as we're doing this that you are writing in your comments, because we will take questions at the end. We also just love your comments. If you have a comment, like us. What else?
Yeah, that was all good. Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, so what if I told you that a simple supplement used by athletes could also boost your memory, focus, and protect your brain as we age?
Yeah, I love it.
Pretty cool and pretty simple, as I said. So today we are going to talk about creatine.
Boom.
We're going to cover the basics of just what is creatine, and we're going to really spend time on the many health benefits of creatine beyond athletic performance. Of course, we're going to talk about athletic performance because it's a major one, but we're going to hit up on all the other benefits which many people don't know of. We're also going to discuss creatine for women because it is really touted as a supplement for males, which is not true. And then we'll kind of do a little bit about our LiveGood creatine plus HMB.
Love it.
Right?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay. So let's just talk about what creatine is. It's natural, right? It's a natural compound found in the body, particularly in our muscles and our brain. It is often supplemented to benefit athletic performance, but the research just highlights a lot more benefits, including, like we said, brain health.
Yeah.
One thing about its effectiveness, you want to give those pretty cool stats? How effective is creatine?
Oh, 100%.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that was an easy one.
Right. I mean,
What
it's not many things you can say are 100% effective.
Well, at doing one particular thing, and that is drawing water into the skeletal muscle cell.
Right.
So that's what I mean by I can tell you definitively that is what will happen.
Right.
Among other things, of course, but it's a well-studied molecule. I mean, over 50 years of studies, or longer.
Right.
Probably the most studied supplement, to be honest. I mean, they started using it in the earliest Olympics before they even had any idea what it would do.
Right.
It's crazy. It's great.
It is pretty cool.
But let's talk about that creatine molecule real quick, guys, though. It is a non-essential, like Lisa mentioned, which means the body will make it. It's a derivative of amino acid. So it's a non-essential amino acid, basically. We're talking about creatine right now. We will also separately discuss HMB because there's two actual molecules in here. But so the cool thing about creatine is that our body will make some of it, but not enough. We must get it from food. And when we don't get enough from food, and there's vegans and vegetarians that can struggle with this, that's when the body can deplete its reserves to bare minimum, basically. And that can create problems.
Right.
That can create some of the issues. And we'll go into some of those things today. But there's different stages of life. I mean, now the science is supporting there's no contraindication for anybody. Even if you're a dialysis patient with renal impairments, I'm not suggesting you do this without talking to your provider, but yeah, you should be supplementing with creatine as early as adolescence through obviously into your elder years.
Right. Yeah. I was going to say too I was, reading a study on the use in adolescence and how how safe and effective it is.
Yeah.
The one thing is as we age, our natural stores of creatine decline. So, children don't have that, but they also don't have the best of diets, to get the nutrients they need. And creatine's very high in meat.
Meat and fish.
Red meat.
Yeah. I'll just say just meat
eggs,
and fish. Yeah. Right. Eggs. Yep.
So that's why when Ryan mentioned that vegetarians and vegans might struggle with this, particularly, yes. So even more the reason to supplement. Yeah,
the body needs in its reserve. So here's the cool thing about creatine. Creatine actually it has a reserve in muscle tissue and skeletal muscle tissue. It helps with the energy sort of regeneration. It helps improve the amount of ATP that's available to the cell. And as we age, Lisa says, we start to deplete, we lose some of our creatine.
What's ATP?
ATP is adenosine triphosphate, but it's your energy currency.
Okay.
And so it does a really good job at recycling ATP for the cell. That's why that's so good for brain health, because it's such a high energy demand center. But in our skeletal muscle, where we're trying to build lean muscle mass, we want to maintain lean muscle mass. we have to do work, right? And when we do the work, whether it's lifting weights or exercise or endurance training, things of that nature, your body goes under stress. And of course, when you have the creatine reserve there, it can help you increase your output and thereby increasing, what's that term used when it says muscle growth? Hypertrophy. So it can help grow more muscle, of course.
Okay. So one thing that you said that I like, so the brain is a high energy demand center.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when we think about energy, so we've known like creatine enhances athletic performance because of the availability of ATP, like our energy. But you don't necessarily think of like your brain being a high energy demand center. Like the brain works so hard all the time. It requires so much energy to function at its best. So you can't just think of energy as like our performance, our body's performance or athletic performance.
Exactly.
So
but when I was talking about that creatine reserve though, so just to illustrate that, so if a normal concentration in tissue and skeletal muscle tissue is like say 100 to 120 millimoles per kilogram, just disregard that for a moment. But when you supplement with creatine, it can go to 160 millimoles per kilogram. That is roughly a 30% increase in your creatine store. That's a really big number.
Right.
And that right there explains a lot of how this works in the fact that the body will store it, will use it, and it's important to replenish it.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, in a nutshell, we kind of talked about why our brain and why our bodies need creatine, but we know the athletic performance. It helps with muscle growth and strength. It promotes muscle growth by increasing the water content in the muscle cells, right?
Sure.
And then when it goes to the brain function, it helps, and especially in demanding cognitive tasks.
Okay.
But also has protective benefits during aging,
times of stress, right?
Times of stress, neurodegenerative diseases.
Okay.
Which also that's times of stress on the brain.
Yeah. Which would be like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
Yes.
And then now you're calling diabetes type 3 or what was I going to say? Alzheimer's. You're calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. So there's some inflammation, of course, of the vasculature in the brain. So
right. But
it's a lot of people. Sleep distress. And one comment that came in about menopause, hormonal fluctuations can cause.
Sure. Yes. I mean, I have a whole thing, and we'll touch on specifically creatine for women. I mean, but what I'm talking about right now goes for everybody. And, Ryan did mention the sleep. So, sleep deprivation like really stresses our brain, right? You feel like you go through the day, you're just feeling out of it. You can't get your thoughts together. But there's many studies that say, like, actually, I wrote down the outcome of this one study. These outcomes suggest that a high single dose of creatine can partially reverse metabolic alterations and fatigue-related cognitive deterioration. And this study was on sleep deprivation. So it's a really cool thing because I feel like a lot of us aren't getting enough sleep. I mean, especially, work, stress, children. I know sometimes we have preteens, but we still get interrupted sleep. And, it's just an important thing. And we just don't focus on it as much. We might say, oh, I'm okay with 5 hours, but like you're running on fumes, so the benefits of supplementing with creatine, I mean, great for your brain health. Anti-aging effects, that has a lot to do with what we just said, the increases in muscle mass that can come along with supplementing with creatine, your cognitive function, your physical performance. I mean, it improves your quality of life because of all that, reduces age-related frailty.
So what's there not to love about it?
It's just like, it's crazy when you see all of this, how beneficial it is. But I feel like the biggest thing is, let's go into females. I used to always think creatine was just for men, right? I mean, this is many years ago. I've been using creatine for a very long time. But many people just think it's a supplement for men, especially bodybuilders, because that's where it began, right? But this supplement is so important, as Ryan said earlier, for everybody. And when it comes to women, especially with hormonal fluctuations, hormonal support during menstruation, like, our fluctuating mood, our energy levels. I mean, this is big time. Muscle energy. You know how you feel. I know how you feel. And then the cognitive health benefits that during hormonal changes such as menopause, where the brain fog and the cognitive challenges can be more pronounced. I mean, this is huge. And not to mention, let's also talk about for women, what else happens. And, menopause is our muscle mass significantly declines. Our bone density suffers. This is the most amazing thing for postmenopausal women. Again, the brain, the muscle, the bone, the anti-aging effects. And I do feel like you probably, I'm sure many of you are sitting out there thinking, but creatine makes you gain weight. Okay, creatine does not make you gain weight. Because creatine hydrates the cells, and you said it's 100% effective at doing that, it can increase this water weight feeling, like a small sense of bloating. If this does happen, it's temporary. It's just while your body's getting adjusted to the creatine, right? The cells are getting hydrated. I will personally say I never noticed it, but I do know other people have said that they noticed it, but just give it a couple weeks. It will go away. It's not permanent. There's no study out there that says that water weight gain or that bloating feeling is permanent.
It's self-limiting. It does resolve on its own. If there is water, it follows it via osmosis. That's actually the way it works. And it will limit. It will self-limit and it'll go away, but it'll stabilize, really. The whole point is that you would continue to hydrate with taking creatine. I want to enforce the importance of consuming water. Even if you get a sense that you're holding water, you should continue to hydrate with water. Trust me. Give it a couple of weeks. Give it 4 weeks. Within 4 weeks, you can already notice the benefits of creatine for brain and also for skeletal muscle mass.
Right.
So
some people notice it pretty
right away.
On,
Pretty quick, like 2 weeks and under. But 4 weeks is kind of your period, right? Gets you through all of it. And then you're in a maintenance phase. There is no real need for a loading dose, though, just to get started. After 30 days, you'll still have that same reserve in your muscle tissue. So feel free to just 1 scoop is 5 grams of creatine, 3 grams of HMB, and that is all you need. And it's that simple.
Right. So, I mean, what you said, daily dose is the 5 milligrams.
Yeah, 5 grams.
5 grams.
Yeah.
And higher doses of creatine, they may also cause GI upset. While they can be beneficial for the brain health, I would just suggest separating them. So say I had a really bad night, didn't get enough sleep, or solid sleep, whatever it was. I would take a dose of creatine in the morning and then a dose in the later afternoon at some point, because combining them together can cause the GI upset for some people. So it's just, an easy way to split it up.
And timing, do you want to talk about how to get the most out of it, or where are we in? I know you want to follow.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I think it's fine to say that you can take it any time of day. That's the important thing. You're just trying to replenish the reserve. I made a mistake for many years thinking it was fuel for the gym, for the workouts. It was a pre-workout for me, which is incorrect.
It can be.
It can be. You're welcome to do it that way. But there's also been studies that have shown the benefit of taking it with carbohydrates after a strenuous workout. But again, if you're not working out and doing heavy lifting and different, that's okay. You can still use creatine every single day and will still support the muscle protein synthesis pathway. Right. And it will preserve, and this is where HMB is so good. Maybe we can talk about HMB now, but that's where HMB is so beneficial because it actually slows down, inhibits proteolysis, the breakdown of the protein. So it can slow down the muscle degradation process. So we're preserving our muscle mass. So it's very hard, of course, to build and maintain, but to preserve it is so key. So we got to really focus on that. HMB, beta hydroxy beta methylbutyrate, is a naturally occurring compound. It is a byproduct or metabolite of leucine, which is a branched chain, an essential amino acid, branched chain amino acid, which we talk about all of the time with regard to our essential aminos and the importance of using the essential aminos, again, to keep the body in muscle protein synthesis. So as you can start to see, these are related compounds. They're related in the way that they work and how they work and what the ultimate outcome is and what our goals are. And that's why we absolutely love talking about products that can preserve our aging, can add to our longevity, increase our health span, and make us really feel better, more functional.
Definitely.
That's what I really like about creatine, HMB.
And I think a good comment you had said about even if you're not working out, because even though you're listening to everything we're saying, but if you're like, oh, I just don't feel like my muscles need it because I'm not working out, but like your muscles even need it more. I mean, we need the first signs of aging are muscle loss, and that starts to happen in our 30s. And just, starts to decline from there. So we really need to protect and preserve that because we want to, it can stop aging, we're not going to reverse it, but we want to age gracefully. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal.
You cool if I jump into a couple questions? Or we're not there yet?
Go for it.
Well, this one is very relevant. Can people with kidney issues take creatine? And then right here, there's another one. My husband is on dialysis and they tell me he can't take creatine. I think he needs it more than ever. Your thoughts? Big time thoughts on this. There's a number of academies that have come out and said that creatine does not harm the kidneys in any way, shape, or form. It can transiently or acutely spike your serum creatinine level, which people like to measure as a function of kidney health.
Right.
But if you're as far advanced as dialysis, actually most specialists, nephrologists now, are recognizing that due to dialysis, the way it filters the creatine out, the way that our diets are limited in protein, the way that our diets are limited in getting any creatine from dietary sources, and also because the kidney is compromised, the natural metabolism of the body making creatine is also compromised because the kidney is responsible, kidney and liver, but the kidney is responsible for the first 2 stages of creatine manufacturing, right? So getting to your point, the nephrologist should probably get on board with listening to some other specialists that are in the space right now, because it looks like they're using creatine supplementation in dialysis clinics. It looks like those patients are benefiting the most from it, because unfortunately for dialysis patients, there's so much of the filtration, they have brain fog, they have depression, they have low energy, low libido, all of the things that you put in that bucket of what happens when your muscle mass starts to decline and you lose. And of course, when phosphocreatine is not available to the muscle tissue, this is like what happens. So more than ever, vegans, vegetarians, dialysis patients, I mean, these are the people that need to be speaking to their healthcare providers, really pushing them on it and saying, tell me why, challenge it, and tell me why I should not be taking creatine. Point to the literature, point to something, because I don't think that's the way it should be. I think you guys should be supplementing on it. But again, my opinion, you need to get your doctor to advise on that. All right, cool.
There was the one I saw there. I don't know where it was, but it was about hormones. And someone was saying they're estrogen positive for cancer. Can they still take it? This doesn't change or affect your hormones. It just helps some of those side effects that come with or hormonal fluctuations.
Yeah. And taking it a step further, if there's an active cancer, that's beyond kind of the scope of today's conversation. But I am not aware of creatine having any detrimental or negative effects for people undergoing cancer treatment or active cancer.
But again, anytime you are, your doctor should know everything that you're taking.
Cool. All right. It's funny. A lot of questions about the shirt. Hi from Michigan.
I will tell you, Ryan has a lot of new LiveGood shirts that
they're not available yet.
Our lovely CEO, Ben Glinsky, just made Ryan a big package for his birthday. That was last month. So he's going to be showing up with a lot of different colors.
Seniors can benefit from creatine more than ever, Susan. Probably the biggest class of people that needs to be taking creatine, I would say. I agree. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. You know, my mom has been taking creatine. And then when I was visiting them like a handful of months ago, I realized my dad wasn't putting it in with his like mix of all our LiveGood powders. I said, why are you taking the creatine? He's like, well, nobody told me I should. I'm like, yes, Dad. Very important. Everybody needs this.
Did we cover everything that's relevant to creatine H&B? Is there anything that we left out?
Not that I want. I did mention the bone health. I'm hoping I mentioned the bone health. I know I talked about postmenopausal women and what happens with our bone density decline, but it appears to enhance the effects of resistance training on bone density. So again, this is all complementary to like what we're doing to help increase bone density. But I feel like a taste specifically, I'll tell you, taste bitter. Of ours, it is bitter, but is that the H&B?
No, it's just that's what. There's no additives, so there's nothing else in here other than creatine and H&B. Right. That is it.
So if you were just to mix it with water, it would taste bitter. You mix it with any other powder. Someone was just writing here, they put in their coffee, right? I mix it with our essential aminos and our E3. So,
I do it as well with the essential aminos, and the fruit punch is back online today, guys. Sorry for the delay.
You throw it in your smoothie. But again, even if you just wanted to put it in water, just because it's bitter doesn't mean it's bad. We're not supposed to sit and sip it like it's like a lemonade, right? It's a nutritional supplement. We need to take it for our health benefits.
How long does it take to see a difference in a person in their 60s? Same thing. Give it 4 weeks, but 2 weeks, you should start feeling benefits. And again, if you're working out, which you should be, then you'll definitely notice benefits, probably even faster.
And especially the recovery. Also too, as we age, we don't recover as quick from our workouts. So you feel like you need to take more days off because your body just, is hating you. It helps with recovery, both the creatine and the H&B. For members, our price is $19.95. If you're new to LiveGood, just to let you know, we do have a membership option that, honestly, if you're buying more than one supplement a month, it makes sense because the membership's only $9.95 if you would do the monthly. So members, it's $19.95, and for our retail price is $24.95. So regardless, such a effective supplement for the price. Yeah. You can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. And it should be dosed. It should be taken every day. Some people, I do know some doctors that write about they take it, on their lifting days. I don't I mean, we need this every day. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you replenish the stores enough, though, if you like took, say, 10 grams, I'm just speculating, but 10 grams 3-4 times a week, you'd probably be fine, right? I mean.
Oh, and Stu just said, can the supplement aid in, and which I just talked about, can it aid in recovery and muscle soreness reduction? 100%. And again, specifically this creatine, because we added the HMB, so you get double help there. Celeste, go ahead and email me. It says, what are the best combination of supplements for postmenopause? Email me, lisa@livegood.com. Happy to help you there. All right. What else?
Well, a lot of hellos. Yeah, very nice. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I love you guys joining us. Again, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, guys, if you haven't already. We have several amazing products on our website, livegood.com. Just make sure you check them out. Lots of options. And like I said, we also have the wonderful membership option. But I mean, bottom line, guys, this is for everybody. And don't be scared of maybe that little bit of water weight that might happen for a couple weeks, if it does. But like I said, I never noticed anything. You feel good.
Sorry.
I wanted to say something about travel, because you always say how good it is for travel.
Yeah, for jet lag especially, but sure.
Yeah. So
usually due to sleep deprivation.
Sure.
Altered sleep. So
yeah.
But yeah, for sure, it's excellent for that. I love that, Stu. Thank you for sending in. They're kind of like layup questions, and I appreciate that because they're good talking points. Any additional ingredients or fillers? If so, what are the purposes? There are none, actually. If you look at the supplement facts, you'll see that it is only creatine monohydrate, because highly effective, most effective form of creatine, very cost effective as well. And then beta hydroxy beta methylbutyrate, calcium. That calcium it's not the free form. It's just a calcium ester. All it is it's paired to it, and it's actually more bioavailable, guys. So don't be scared by the calcium word. That doesn't mean anything was added to it. It's just the calcium salt form versus
from the HMB.
From the HMB. Yeah.
And it says it on there too. The calcium in parentheses from calcium HMB.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Does it amp up your energy? No, not necessarily. It's certainly not a thermogenic like caffeine or something like that. But
you could take it at night.
Yeah, you could take it at night. But guys, it is increasing it's recycling your ATP. So when you go under duress and the body has to tap into the stores of creatine to access phosphocreatine, yes, it is going to help you prolong your output or work, which is what I love about it.
There is no sodium. Vicky's asking a question about that. You must have mentioned sodium, but there is no sodium.
Did I say something about sodium?
I don't know what.
Well, salt. There's a second question about salt. I did see another one too. What about the salt with creatine? Guys, there are no salt. Is no salt in here.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm saying calcium salt. That just means it's an ester. Don't think of that as salt. That's not salt. There's no sodium. There's no chloride. There's none of that in there. Sorry for any confusion.
Susan says you can't really taste it, which I think is true. I mean, besides the little bit of bitterness alone, but it mixes with anything like without any bitterness.
Cool. All right. That's it. Guys, thank you so much for all your questions. Thank you for all of your engagement. And hello to those that are watching this on recording. And today in the United States is Veterans Day. So again, happy Veterans Day. We're honored by all of the things that you guys have done for our country.
Yes, thank you.
Past and present. All right, guys. Thank you all.
Yep. Any further questions? You guys always know, email me, lisa@livegood.com. Again, we always try just to answer questions relative to the topic here. Until next time.
Yeah. See y'all. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Try to